What's up, you guys? I'm back with another video, and today we are doing Revelation chapter 6. Yeah, 6. Make sure you guys are paying attention because this describes what it's gonna happen. So in the previous chapter, Jesus just opened a scroll. And in the scroll, well, I'm gonna read it to you right now. So remember, Jesus opened the scroll. Here's what happens in chapter 6. Now I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard one of the four living creatures saying with a voice like thunder, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a white horse. He who sat on it had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went out conquering and to conquer. When he opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature, "Come and see." Another horse, fiery red, went out, and it was granted to the one who sat on it to take peace from another horse, fiery red. A fiery red horse went out, and it was granted to the one who sat on it to take peace from the earth, and that people should kill one another, and there was given him a great sword. When he opened the third seal, I heard the living creature say, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a black horse, and he who sat on it had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four creatures saying, "A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3/4 of barley for the denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine." When he opened the fourth seal, I heard a voice of the fourth living creature saying, "Come and see." So I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and the name of him who sat on it was Death, and Hades followed with him, and power was given to them over a fourth of the earth, to kill with a sword, with hunger, with death, and by the beasts of the earth. When he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried out, with a loud voice, saying, "How long, O Lord, holy and true, until you judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth?" Then a white robe was given to each of them, and it said to them that they should rest a little while longer, until both the number of their fellow servants and their brethren who would be killed as they were, was completed. I looked when he opened the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became like blood, and the stars of heaven fell to the earth, as a fig tree drops its late figs when it is shaken by a mighty wind. Then the sky receded as a scroll when it was rolled up, and every mountain and island was moved out of its place. And the kings of the earth, the great men, the rich men, the commanders, the mighty men, every slave and every free man, hid themselves in the caves and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath has come, and who is able to stand? Okay, that is chapter 6. That was a lot of vivid imagery. Jesus opened 6 seals, and each seal is a judgment that will be on the earth in the future. So, I'm gonna recap. The first seal, it was a white horse, and the person who sat on it, he had a crown, and he set out conquering the entire world. So there will be a future person. So, no. There's going to be a person in the future that will conquer the entire world. And the second seal, another horse was released. The horse was red. And, hold on. The person on the red horse, the person who sat on it, he would take the peace, he would just take peace, from the earth, and he's gonna force people to kill one another. And when the third seal opened, there was a person riding a black horse, and he had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying, a quart of wheat for denarius, and the 3 quarts of denarius. I'm sorry, guys. I don't really know what the pair of scales means in his hand, but I will tell you guys in a future video. Anyways, the 4th seal opened, and a pale horse was released, and the person who sat on the horse was Death, and Hades followed him, and he was given to kill a fourth. He was given to kill a fourth of the earth, and he would kill a fourth of the earth by hunger, by death. No. Just hunger. Just hunger. And when he opened the 5th seal, the souls who had been killed for their faith, they were crying out to God, saying, how long until he judges the earth, until he judges on the earth? And then the 6th seal opened. There's an earthquake so big that the sun was black and the moon became blood, and the stars of heaven fell down like it's either meteors or nukes. Okay, that's today's video. I'm sorry I didn't explain like the context of the horses, but it's the context of the book of Revelation is very, very complex. So you're gonna have to do some research on it. All right, y'all. Peace.